So this is like my 10th take of this video. First three takes didn't go so well, and the fourth take, I finished it, but it was out of focus the whole time. The whole time. Let's hope this one is in focus. Is it in focus? Can you see me? Am I pretty? Anyway, today's video is on, do beginners need precision trucks? I'll also be talking about the differences between precision and cast trucks, as countless other videos have done. But my video is extremely different, as you guys know. It's extremely based. And also in what ways in terms of performance are cast trucks and precision trucks different, because we can talk about the manufacturing process all we want, but at the end of the day it's about performance. So do beginners need precision trucks? The answer is yes, but because this is YouTube, the answer is also maybe, and it's also no. I'll talk about that topic at the end of the video, so stick around to the end of the video, and I'll tell you everything you need to know. So what are the differences between cast trucks and precision trucks? So there are two differences. Number one, how they are manufactured, and number two, how they perform. Now, in terms of manufacturing, precision trucks, which are these, are CNC machined. What they do, they take a block of aluminum and they basically cut the shape of the metal they want, and you end up with a product that looks like this. With cast trucks, what they do, they take a mold, they pour molten aluminum into the mold, and you end up with a cast truck like this, or this, or this. And that has its disadvantages and advantages. The benefits of CNCing something and cutting it out of a block is that it ends up actually being quite strong, because like the molecules are aligned or something. But with cast trucks, with the molten process and the mold, the molecules end up not being aligned, so it ends up not being as strong. But because you do have to spend a lot of time with precise machines cutting down a block, precision trucks end up being $400, $500, $600 in some cases, and cast trucks, because you can sort of make huge batches in one go, end up being super cheap, between $50 to $70. The other great benefit of precision trucks is, since you're basically cutting down a block, you can kind of basically make any shape you want, and because it's stronger, you are actually not limited by the you're not limited by strength the way cast trucks are. According to some people in the industry, it's actually impossible to cast a hanger like this in the rear with that curve. Apparently it ends up breaking quite easily and they can't cast that. But with CNC machining, you can easily make whatever it is that you want, and it'll probably be strong enough to hold up to the abuse that we downhill skateboarders are going to be putting it through. The other thing is, you can sort of make exactly what it is that you want. If you want like a low angle base plate or a super high angle base plate, allow 55, 20 degrees, you can make that. So you do have a little bit more freedom. With cast trucks, because you do have to commission a mold, you are quite financially limited, right? You are quite financially, can you behave? You are quite financially limited. Companies are limited to making what's going to make them money in the long run. So that's why you only see like very limited options with cast trucks. For example, Rogue, at the moment they're only selling this 160 millimeter wide truck with 48 degree base plates. Other companies do have more options, but you do end up being quite limited with what you can do. Finally, in terms of performance, precision trucks do tend to perform way better than cast trucks, but with casting technology and slop stopping mechanisms, I feel like cast trucks are maybe 85 to 95% as good as precision trucks, depending on the day, depending on how I'm feeling. So there's that. But the reason that precision trucks are way better than cast trucks are because they're very precise. When you machine something, you get it down to millimeter perfection, so it ends up being extremely precise. With cast trucks, because you cast them, they're not always so precise. They are pretty good, but they are like tiny imperfections, and when you're skating you can't feel these imperfections, and the way it manifests is in the directness of how your board feels. So what that means is that precision trucks are more direct and mirror performance and inputs better than cast trucks. What that manifests as is the trucks do exactly what you want them to do and don't do anything else. Cast trucks tend to sometimes they kind of want to do their own thing sometimes. Not so much these days because you have the slope stopping system, you have the superior manufacturing, but in the past, cast trucks would sometimes wobble, for example, or when you're in the edge of traction, when you're really trying to grip a corner, they'll suddenly twitch a little bit. So yeah, they kind of want to do their own thing. And if you're absolutely pushing your limits, precision trucks are the trucks that are going to allow you to sort of hang in that pushing the limit zone comfortably. Cast trucks can't hang as much. Okay, now in what use cases would I say you don't need precision trucks? So number one, if you're a beginner, but beginners maybe they do need precision trucks. So stick around to the end of the video to find out the answer to that question, because that is YouTube and that is what YouTubers do. Blue ball their viewers with the answers at the end of the video. Don't scroll ahead, I'll be very upset. Anyway, so do you need precision trucks if you're freeriding? Unless, in my opinion, you're absolutely pushing the limit. And by pushing the limit, I mean going super fast, trying to milk as much out of every single slide, or just basically at the limit. If you're at the limit, you're going to know. If you're just casually freeriding, you're just doing sort of stand-up slides with like a board this shape, this size, you don't really need precision trucks. Like with what I have, like these Rogue V3s, I don't think what I'm doing now with these Rogue V3s cannot be done on a set of well set up caliber V3 trucks. Like maybe they won't be as stable, maybe 5-10% less stable, maybe they won't dive as precisely, but on a well set up set of cast trucks that have a slope stopping mechanism that allows them to have that direct feel and are stable at speed, I don't think if you're just chilling under 40 miles per hour doing stand-up slides, you really need precision trucks. However, as I said, if you're pushing the limit, then precision trucks absolutely do make sense. The other place that they do make sense is that if you have like some specific requirement, for example, you want a low base plate angle for your freeriding needs. If with a lot of precision trucks, cast trucks, you're limited to 40 degrees, and yeah, if you're okay with that, you don't need precision trucks. But if you want to go lower, 30 degrees even, it can absolutely make sense to get precision trucks if wedging and de-wedging is not an option for you. And finally, the last reason that you should get precision trucks is if you've been skating a long time, you deserve something nice. Treat yourself. Take out the $400 out of your bank account, maybe sell your kidney. You'd probably get way more if you sell your kidney than $400, but sell something, buy yourself some precision trucks and enjoy it, because they are quite nice and you do actually feel the difference. Finally, let's talk about when do precision trucks make more sense than cast trucks. So number one, as I've said, is when you're trying to push your limits, when you're already a great rider and you're trying to be an even better rider. That's when precision trucks absolutely matter. They absolutely matter when you're also trying to make the most out of boards with this sort of dimension, which are about less than 9 inches wide, with a wheelbase around 22.5 all the way down to about 18-19 inches. You absolutely need precision trucks to make that sort of setup feel good. I've tried cast trucks. I haven't tried them all, but I've tried a lot of cast trucks. A lot of people have tried other narrow cast trucks and they do not feel as good in that small package as precision trucks do. They just don't. Don't try it. You'll cry, you'll be sad, and I'll be there in your dreams telling you that I told you so. Anyway, so they do absolutely make sense. And also, if you're trying to be the best hands down rider that you can be, these precision trucks in this narrow form factor are just game changing. So yeah, also maybe if you're trying to do that whole freeriding thing on narrow boards, precision trucks are gonna be able to do that. So yeah, and that's also just mostly because you can't really get cast trucks with a low angle base plate in the rear. Like these trucks with this type of board, you absolutely need like a 20 degree, 15, 25 degree-ish base plate in the rear in order for it to be stable enough to take it to super fast speeds. And super fast speeds, I mean 50, 60 miles per hour. 40 miles is fast, but it's not that fast. And finally, to answer the question, do beginners need precision trucks? Well, but before that, you also need to keep in mind that not all precision trucks are built the same. Some precision trucks absolutely suck. Some are better for other purposes. Some are not honestly worth your money. Some of them don't turn, and are famously known as don't turns. So you really actually do have to be careful, and do keep that in mind. I'll talk a little bit more about that later. So do beginners need cast trucks? Well, the answer is kind of yes, kind of maybe, but also no. Beginners, you're basically just trying to learn how to skate. You're just trying to get used to everything. You don't need precision trucks. A well set up set of cast trucks is going to be good enough for you, and you're going to be able to learn. However, does a beginner learn way faster on precision trucks? I would say absolutely yes, but also it depends on the setup. But generally speaking, absolutely less. Yes. So with the fewer imperfections you get on precision trucks, right, they then become less of a limiting factor in your learning experience. One thing that I have found on averagely set up boards, trucks can be a limiting factor, right? What that manifests in is like sometimes they twitch a little bit when you're riding down the hill, which isn't really a sign of instability, but they may react a little bit more to a road imperfection, and for a beginner that can seriously spook them, right? And that can hamper their progression in terms of confidence, etc. So it can be a limiting factor. And it's the same, like if they're on the edge of traction gripping a corner, sometimes the trucks can twitch a little bit or slide out a little bit in the way that precision trucks, the way cast trucks do. Sometimes they dive a little bit more than you'd like them to, and for a beginner, again, that can spook them a little bit. So there is that sort of learning period where they are learning how to skate these trucks, they are learning about the trucks, they are getting used to them. But if you do have precision trucks, you don't have to worry about any of that. Yes, they will react to road imperfections, but it'll be more to tell you like, hey, you just skated over something, right? Instead of just reacting, they'll react a little bit less violently, right? And what that just means is that the beginner is going to have more confidence. They're going to spend less time learning the trucks. They're going to have more confidence at the limit, more confidence in slides, and it's going to make a significant difference in their learning progress. That being said, just because you have precision trucks doesn't mean you learn faster. You actually do need to set up your precision trucks well. And actually, in my opinion, a well set up set of cast trucks is better than a poorly set up set of precision trucks. That was a lot of words, like the video. So yeah, if you are a beginner, if you can't afford $400 or $300 or $200 in the secondhand market, I will say buying a set of precision trucks can allow you to learn faster, but there's actually an argument against that. The argument for why you should stick to cast trucks, even though you can't afford that $400 set of trucks, is it's fun with cast trucks because they're so cheap. $50, $70, $30 on the secondhand market, $20 if you're lucky, $0 if you have nice people in your community. You get to experiment. You get to experiment with wider hangers, narrower hangers, tall bushings, short bushings. You get to experiment with rakeless, and you just don't have the same freedom as precision trucks. And as you experiment and as you get better, you eventually get to a point where you actually do know what it is you want out of a precision truck, or you just have had a really fulfilling experience learning how to set up your board, learning what different bushings do, learning blah 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 blah. It's actually a lot of fun. But again, not everybody values that. If you are just looking to go from a grom, someone who doesn't know how to slide, who knows nothing, a little baby, to someone like Harry Clark, or someone like me who can skate downhill, skate down any hill, do a pendy in one lane, go super fast, slide, blah 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 blah, can make, and just someone who's just awesome like me, just absolutely awesome. Just kidding. Then it does make sense to get precision trucks because that's your goal, and you want to get there as quickly as possible. So in my opinion, then it does make a little bit of sense to get precision trucks. But again, as I did say, not all precision trucks are the same. Not all precision setup boards are the same. The funniest thing, when teaching hands down stuff to beginners, every single beginner has learned way faster on this board. This board is just meant to be like the best for hands down stuff as much as possible. And for beginners, they've just gotten to learn concepts faster. They're able to take corners much easier. They're more comfortable on that edge of traction. And that's in comparison to my other precision setup, which is this. They don't have as much of an easier time at the edge of traction, even though it has precision trucks, even though it's set up super well. It's not as intuitively stable. So it really depends on what type of riding style you're looking to do. Not all precision setups are the same. That being said, when it does come to like learning stand-up slides, learning sit-down slides, this one is actually much easier to use than the other one. So yeah, there is that kind of difference. So it does depend. And hopefully, as a beginner, you have people on the internet like me, people in forums like those at Longboarding or Longboard Family on Facebook or our Longboarding on Reddit, etc., to help you out, to guide you, to help you know what choices you're making. Anyway, that's the video. Sorry for blue balling you guys. I'm sorry, but what the algorithm wants is I'm just its humble servant, bro. In fact, I'm the victim in all of this. Like, you see what YouTube is making me do in these videos. Anyway, interested to see what you guys have to say in the comments. Let me know. This is my 10th take of this video. I think it's the best one so far. And yeah, thank you for watching. I'll catch you guys in the next video.